Silly season never sleeps, and neither do we. Petty GMS just confirms that Jimmie Johnson will not be the only driver to drive that Petty GMS open car. Let's talk about it. Coming up next. What's going on, everybody? Hope you are doing good today. All right, Petty GMS has announced that Jimmie Johnson will not be the only driver to drive that Petty open car, that Petty GMS open car. Of course, we don't even have a number for the car yet, but now we know that aside from the 8 to 10 races that Jimmie Johnson is looking to run, there will be other drivers in that car because other drivers and other sponsors have already inquired about the car. Let's take a look at this article from John Newby at The Heavy for the details. According to Andy Cohen, the Petty GMS Cup Series competition director, there are already discussions taking place about the third entry. Johnson has set a list of 8 to 10 races in which he will compete, starting with the Daytona 500. But there are plans in place to have other drivers making starts in the third Chevrolet Camaro, though there are no confirmed drivers on this list yet. Kind of through the rumblings of the circles, I think a lot of people knew that an open car was coming on our end, and it generated more interest, and there's people out there that are looking to run more races next season. Cohen told NASCAR Media, "The road course stuff always interests people, and there are people lining up to do those from the other side. We have partners that have asked us about drivers that could go in our organization that they would be interested in supporting. So I think it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be a really interesting year. We looked at the 500, and I'm sure we're just the very beginning of multiple amounts of teams considering running an open car. I would say that that car will have an opportunity to run more races with other drivers in it next year as well." So first off, good on John Newby. Great article. Go check him out, John Newby at The Heavy. Go check out all of his NASCAR stuff. Great reporter. One of my favorite in the game. The other thing is, with the one of the benefits of this new car, it's got negatives that we have covered, so I'm not trying to gloss over those, but one of the benefits of this new car is it is reconfigurable for multiple tracks. So if you have one or two extra cars laying around, you can have this option like Trackhouse is doing with the Project 91 open car, now Petty GMS with the open car, and like they said in the article, like Andy Cohen mentioned in the article, other teams are looking at running open cars too, but we know for sure Jimmie Johnson will be in this car for 8 to 10 races. And they said that the road courses, of course, a lot of people are very interested in that. Of course, we've seen people from different disciplines. Last year, we saw Kimi Räikkönen run for Project 91, so you could see an open wheel or a sports car guy that wants to jump into the Petty GMS extra entry for road courses. But also of interest, I think there are some guys in the lower divisions, Xfinity, trucks, things like that. There are some guys in those divisions that probably want to dip their toe into the Cup Series, sort of try to get used to this car, much like Noah Gragson was doing last season. And then eventually, of course, Ty Gibbs, unfortunate situation, but Ty Gibbs jumped in and got some experience in a Cup car, which probably, they haven't announced it yet, but everybody's assuming probably is going to lead to him getting a full-time Cup Series ride in the 18. So I could see a bunch of young guys jumping in that car too. So that's actually the question I want to ask everybody watching. Who do you think will be the other driver aside from Jimmie Johnson in this car? And also, how many cars will we see at Daytona with this new car? We know Petty GMS is going to have a extra entry. We know that Project 91 for Trackhouse will be an open entry as well. So lot of stuff going on there. How many other teams will have open entry cars, and will we have an actual, for the first time in probably a really long time, a actual thrash in qualifying to see how many cars will actually get in? I know last year we had 4 extra cars and only 2 of them could get in or something like that. But this could be the first year in a long time where you see close to like maybe, 45 or 50 entrants. Like that would be old school Daytona, right? You have to race to get in, and make no bones about it, this is an open entry. This is one of those cars that has to qualify in on time. Same thing with the Project 91 car. They have to qualify in on time. No points or past champions provisionals to fall back on, apparently, in these particular situations, according to the article. But that's all I got for you on this one. I found it really interesting that not only is Jimmie Johnson going to run it, but also other drivers are going to jump in and run it. And also he mentioned other teams are looking at doing open entries for open cars. that leaves the door open for all kinds of stuff. So I'm excited to see that. Would really love to see, just personally, Ryan Newman go back to Roush and run, you know, at least a few farewell races in one of those Roush cars just to say goodbye to the fans, because I know a lot of people miss him, myself included. But that's all I got for you on this one. If you made it this far, feel free to subscribe down below. All your subscriptions mean a lot, and I appreciate them. And if you're already subscribed, you guys know I appreciate you as well. Got the live stream on Tuesday, so if you got a question, a comment, or anything like that, leave it down in the comment section. Try to get to as many of them as I can. And other than that, thanks for your time. Peace.